Hey everybody, this is Age of Bison, Platypus Slayer here, your local amateur streamer slash record YouTuber. I'm joined by Bison McCleaves. How you doing?
Hello, I'm fine. I'm really excited to see this game that Nish has brought to us. He's a good YouTuber as well. We will put his YouTube channel link in the description so you can check it out.
Yep, absolutely. Yep, Big Nisius, as he's known, teamed out with one of our local guys, Amaterasu, and they had a pretty intense game. So we are just going to kind of jump right into it. In advance, forgive us if it's a little rough around the edges. There's a patch coming out tomorrow, and we wanted to show you guys how to handle some pretty intense pressure. So, without further ado, uh, we are just going to jump into this. Are you ready, McLeaves?
Yes.
All right. So we've got Baja California. What can you tell us about Baja California?
Yeah, this is that one map that everyone kind of loves, I feel. But in team games, I don't know. It's pretty interesting. You got those rocks in the middle, but you basically. So one of the big strats that's used a lot here is just take the middle where the trade post is, and then just make a forward base there and go. And I'm expecting that to happen, especially from the Russian team, which Russia is very good with this kind of forward base, since they can start in H1.
Exactly. As we know, Russia Lakota, one of the classic combinations of early pressure, right? Russia can mass straylets, cost-effective skirms that are weak to cav. Lakota has the best dragoon, aka mounted anti-cav unit in the game, in the bow rider, arguably. Both civs can get really aggressive in H2, so it's a great combination of civs if you prefer early pressure. Now, on our team, we've got Nicias is Italy. Italy's a pretty flexible civ. You know more about Italy than I do, McCleaves, but it's a very flexible civ, but it is a bit slow to get booming. Do you think that's correct?
Yeah, that's about it, what Italy is. It's a little bit slow, but the good thing with Italy is that if you are getting rushed, you aren't too worried because you have your outpost. You've got some nice tricks, some nice cards that can help you defend. I'm more worried about the British because you can boom, but it might be hard sometimes to mass units early on, and Lakota and Russia hit fast.
That's true. Britain, famous for its manor boom, aka it builds houses, it gets more villagers, but it does take time to take off. And, these two guys over here may not want to let Britain take off. Now, something to think about too on this map is that there's a lot of hunts, and there's this kind of backwater for each team. This allows you to have a safe economy. You can herd these hunts in base, sit under your town center, or hit water. So these guys do have some options against early pressure. However, at the end of the day, a town center fire is only going to kill so much.
And coin is pretty far away.
That's true too. You're right. So that does limit their options for economy if they're going to be
There's
turtled.
whales, but still, yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the deck. So first off, for our Russia player, this is like your bog standard Russia 1v1 or 2v2 deck. You've got distribution. I can't pronounce words, but do you want to take a crack at that?
Distributivism.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, that's a very standard one. The other card in H1 is interesting. You don't see that from Russia a lot.
No, but sometimes you do, especially if you're going to go forward, right? Because this kind of allows you some safety back home. Russia can be weak to the rush because if their military buildings are in the middle of the base, they may not be able to pull back and defend. So that definitely does help.
I'm not a big fan of these H3 cards that he's included in here. So that's mostly the infinite outposts, and I really don't like that one. And then the other one is the Royal Mint, which I think, and even the I don't know what's the last card there, the plantation card, textile mill. Russia is not very coin intensive. I'm not sure why he's including these.
Yeah, he could have like a late game strategy put in, but I think for now, oh wow, Looks like these guys take 150 coin. Wow, that's huge for Moonlight, the Lakota player. And looking at
Yeah, that's
his
pretty nice.
deck, this looks like pretty standard new Lakota to me. Again, I'm not a Lakota main, but you've got your Axe Riders in Age 2. Um, you can turn them all into Rifle Riders. Buffalo Hunt, the TP card, and he's already aging up with the Chief, so
I see
definitely
a
early
very
push.
nice synergy here between the Lakota H3 cheaper Cav card, which got turned into a team card not long ago, and Russian operations.
Wow, or even Cossacks, right? Like an
Or
already
even Cossacks
cost-effective
because they're
Hussar.
already pretty cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, and then for Nicias, this also looks like a pretty standard deck for Italy from what I've seen. Looks like he is sending capitalism first to get some gold trickles going. He's opening up with some
Not a lot
houses.
of units in H3.
Ooh, you are right. So that is absolutely correct. Yeah, a much more eco card. So this looks like he wants to kind of maybe not stand too long in age 2, get to age 3, and boom to 4.
Well, I'm not sure that's going to work against Russia.
No, and then Amaterasu,
Oh, yes.
water. um, wow, even the whale oil. So yeah, it looks like he is expecting to go very heavily onto water.
He's even got the advanced ships in H2.
Yep, aging up with the governor for defense. Yeah, I mean, this is, not only is he expecting water, he's maybe even expecting to fight water, which is a bit strange because, well, wait a minute. Oh.
I know. I know. There's the Ville, yeah. Yeah, I know. Amaterasu and especially his brother Potato, they like to do this. Just go on the other side of the water. I've seen Potato doing this before. Yeah, very nice strategy there.
This is because you have two different things. That's nice if this works off, right? Of course, if you get spotted, you're
If it
probably in
works.
trouble. But you're
Well,
able
there's
to
4
get
days.
safe economy and drain your opponent of late game resources, right? Because now their back pond is gone. All right, well, we've got a forward base from Russia to the surprise of probably nobody.
Yeah, and they have already found it as well.
Tribal marketplace. So yep, macro for axe riders or bow riders looks like is coming through. They found it, and this is something you can do. Look, even if you can't stop a forward, sometimes just putting extra damage on it can help you later on siege it down that much faster, and especially Russian blockhouses, which can be a nightmare to siege when there's multiple of them and unit batches popping out. Like, yeah, see that?
And look, it's already lost 700 HP.
Exactly. Of course, with the Lakota rider now killing their explorer, that could be difficult. Trixie Mattel. I do not know who that is, but knowing Amaterasu, that's probably a famous figure.
I think that's just an AI scripted one. Yes.
Really?
Grey Cloud Knuckle. That's a very nice. So they all have their. What's the Russian one?
Stefan, yeah.
So yeah.
So perhaps Russia's trying to take a trade post to make sure they get more shipments. Let's scroll over. So yeah, he is sending Strelitz. So this looks very
24 strats.
Yep. And a batch behind that, he's a bit slow on it, but
I'm expecting bow riders then, especially with the coin treasure that they got.
yeah, good call.
There we are. Can queue one more.
Let's see if he is on the ball.
Maybe he doesn't have pop.
Well, he's Lakota.
Oh yeah, that was stupid.
That's and yeah, that's a civ bonus. On top of having the explorer that runs around and steals all of your treasures, or so it feels like. And they are going right for it. Sub 6 minute rush. Brit does have a batch of units out. Amaterasu's kind of turtled in. Look at Big Nicias with this big Great Wall.
The Great Wall of Italy, as everyone knows.
The Great Wall, the leaning tower of, or leaning wall of Italy. And this is really smart.
Wall, yeah.
And this is a really smart thing because it's forcing the opponent into this choke point where now they have to take outpost fire.
Yeah, the outpost is really well placed.
But he is able to pop some of the unique Italian crossbow, the PVCA. I'm probably pronouncing that wrong. I am sorry to any of our Italian friends for the destruction of your language at my hands. But yeah, they switch stances. They're a new unit with Knights of the Mediterranean, and they are a bit more expensive, but they do have more utility than your average crossbowman because they can switch stances and get different resistances.
Yeah, and they have good cards.
Ooh, now
But mostly in H3.
Ooh.
There go the Vills. Is he? Oh, I think he's
Snared it
No,
with
he's
the
not getting in.
Explorer. But did he miss? He might have missed microed a bit.
He's attacking the wrong one.
Oh, good save. Yeah, but it looks like finally the 30 batch.
These
30.
musketeers.
Oh, yep.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
He did get a bow rider now.
Mm-hmm.
2 even.
So we got a good fight, but now suddenly the Straylets are here, and these guys, there's just so many of them. They're just going to run right through these musketeers.
7 minutes in, there's already a huge army. And Cossacks. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Stance changing or not, that is going to hurt.
For such an expensive unit as well. Or expensive, but costing a lot of wood, mostly.
Yep, exactly, because they do pay extra for those crossbows. And Amaterasu.
The problem with these stances.
I'm sorry.
The problem with these stances is really that it takes so long to change. So you can't read. You have to change it in advance of a fight, and that can be really tough.
I see. So there is a drawback to it, but they did get the Explorer down for Lakota, and that is pretty good for Brits because that slows down the cavalry significantly.
It's only like 10%, but 10% of an already very high speed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, looks like we've got some axe riders mixed in.
Ooh.
That can't be right. Is he on trample mode or something?
He might have.
There we go.
No, he's selected Treasure Guardian. And that's one axe rider. That's a shipment too. He's already lost almost half of it.
Yeah. These Cossacks are just kind of idle, so.
It's retraining some pipes.
Smart. So we've got a pretty solid combination, but
It's a small army though.
Exactly, and these Straylets, man, when you get a certain amount of them, like they just hurt.
Yeah, this is the definition of snowball.
Avalanche, even if I dare say.
Yeah. Dreaded avalanche.
That's a lot of bow riders. That's some axe riders mixed in. That's Cossacks. I mean, I'm thinking, and they're doing a great job. See, this isn't a 2v2. It's so important. I make this mistake a lot myself. Even if they're not making the best trades, yellow and blue are sticking together, where our guys, Nicias and Amaterasu, because their bases are so far apart, they're kind of trickling in. They're trying to keep their mass alive, but they're not able to like join forces. And so, these guys, this is very balanced matchup. Yeah, feeling the pressure.
No. This is the thing with this map is I like it in 1v1 or 3v3, but in 2v2 you're a little bit far apart, and that's what's happening right now.
Correct.
Now the good thing is that it has caused the Russia and Lakota player to just run between the bases instead of attacking one of them, which I think saved the Nicias team some time. He's losing a lot of troops now to the Cossacks.
Ooh, and the Explorer is
basically lost his entire army. Not for long.
True.
Or maybe.
Ooh, yeah. He's definitely hurting. He's getting idled. And this is allowing them now to 2v1 Brits. The Explorer is down again, but these Musketeers, oh no, they have nowhere else to hide. And now they have to try to fight with skirms. Cheap skirms, but skirms nonetheless.
He's doing a good job though. The thing with these skirms is that they do not have a very good range. And there's the militia.
Yep.
Yeah, this is good.
buying time under intense pressure. Amaterasu doing a great job. You know, Nicias, oh, he's still taking his time. He's kind of out of the fight a bit, so Amaterasu is going to have to buy time, but you know, not under his TC. This is a tough time to, you know, to push.
And he just keeps getting idled as well.
Correct, but
now the thing is, yeah, this is the thing. So he's still getting eco even though he's getting idled, and you can see it in the score already.
that is correct. Yeah, he has an incredibly high score, even though Russia does underscore a bit. Let's see here.
Their Lakota score just bumps up by 500, 600 points. That's interesting. Oh, okay, Great Hunter coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Good car. I think he's getting. How much food is he getting for it?
I don't know if it'll tell me. Oh, exactly. Maybe if I look at his home city.
Yes,
Oh, okay,
500.
10.
That's not huge, but 20%. You know.
And on a
It's
map
pretty
with.
good. It's a good car.
Yeah, and on a map with so many hunts.
They have map control as well. Yeah.
So.
Training war clubs. They probably want some siege.
That's correct. Yes.
Because that's the one thing they don't have enough of.
Correct. Straylets, pretty low siege. Bow Riders, also low siege. And, you know, you kind of want to knock Brit out. Now, it looks like Nicias is docking this side. Wow, what? You know, I don't know if they planned it before the game, but smart.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to take a while for Nicias because he's storage tech building it, but it is smart.
This is. So, you know, both Amaterasu and Nicias, you know, sometimes when you're under this much pressure, you have to say, look, if we just let them idle one of us forever, we're not going to win. So, looks like Amaterasu, he's keeping his mass alive. He's just buying time, right? He's like, if Nicias takes off and Amaterasu is able to stay in the game with his back pond, eventually they'll be able to out-eco all of these units. So, I mean, this is how you handle a situation where you're kind of separated from your ally. Your ally got wiped earlier, maybe not wiped, but definitely pushed back to his base, and you're just outmassed, right? Buy time.
This push is going to hurt.
Yeah,
look at all this. Oh.
Oof.
Where's the musketeer mass? I thought it was much bigger.
It's hiding behind these.
Oh, right.
But
that's not going to go well.
No. And look, I mean, Nicias again, even though he can't contribute much, he comes in, he tries to snipe some of these club warriors, right? You know, get that siege out of the way. Great coordination. Oh, we've got the soon-to-be.
And there's Croatian company.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Interesting that he's.
Bow Riders might deal with those.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah, he's pretty much.
How it goes. And look, oh, Amaterasu too. What a smart thing. Even though he's under pressure, he finds time to make a boat, go up and scout, right? And just see what's going on, see if they've docked as well.
Or maybe he was looking for wheels. That's also an issue.
Oh. He's just on.
No, he found it. There's wheels just there, and he doesn't have 4 boats on it. Here's his barracks going down, though.
Yep, and that's huge, because that really neuters Amaterasu's ability to really fight much in this game.
He doesn't have much wood either.
No. So he is...
This is going to be painful.
Yeah. He's got 18 vills. That's most of his eco. You know, if we take a look, he's got 30 vills total, so...
Well,
you know,
he didn't really make our boom.
No. He went for fish.
Didn't get the opportunity either.
Oh, wait.
What's that building going up there?
Lombards? I was just looking at the fact, too, that Russia is on 14 vills. Yeah.
That can't be right. And he is spot. That's the fun thing about it. Almost spot. I think he's just got a second blockhouse now because his population cap went up by 5. So Because that can only be a blockhouse.
Oh, you're right. It looks like there's one just built. You know, he's saying,
How does it have the eco
yeah,
to sustain 2 blockhouses production with 14 villagers?
yeah. This is something that many Russian players do forget. Look, Strelets are fun, but they are not an economy. Um, in fact, what makes
Yeah.
Russia so strong is that if you're queuing up villagers behind this, you will actually outscale all of these other civs in Age 2 eventually. Because you train batches of 3 and you train them faster by base anyway. So I'd say a little bit of a throw from the Russia player, but you know, this is all in basically. He said, let's end the game before my like economy matters. I've got all these
Yeah,
Strelets.
also, I'm not sure it's working out when you see Nisha's score. Then again, Amaterasu looks very hurt. His score even went down. And he lost his mass.
He did. He does have 37 vills, but 18 idle. So effectively, his economy is really not that much better than Russia's, when you think about it.
Yeah. What about Italy though?
36 vills. Ooh.
46, that's pretty good, and he's on water as well now.
Correct. Although it looks like he stopped building this dock. Maybe his
He's fishing the material to build it.
Oh wow, that is brilliant. I would not have made such a thing, and that's why it's Big Nicias and Small Platypus.
Yeah. It's not looking good though. These Nicias is getting pushed back, even with the Schiavoni and the Kravitz.
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's got good. He's buying time. He's doing well, but like, you know, you can't beat 2v1, right?
Yeah.
And ooh, this town center's almost down. He's had 17, 16, 15. Okay, is he?
Oh, look, he's pushing out the villagers one by one, like, or in small groups.
Mm-hmm.
This is really smart. He's just running to the army, and now look at the town center. Look what he's going to do. I'm pretty sure that.
Oh, yep.
No. Oh, there you go. There you go. 2 to that side, and then 2 to the other side. Oh, this is beautiful.
Brilliant.
For the player's eye side, but really smart.
Right?
That's just beautiful.
Wow, what a clever thing to do. I have never even thought to do that, but I mean that makes perfect sense, right? Your opponent can't chase you everywhere. You hope.
TC is down, but he still has 2 docks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, look at that. No TC, 41 villagers under constant pressure. You know, again, remembering that fishing boats do count as villagers for the purpose of this number.
Yeah. How many does he have? Can you?
Oh, that's Nicias. Amaterasu has 38. So.
But if you select fishing boats only, or.
I don't have that hotkey. It looks like.
Yeah, you're in Italy again.
Oh, maybe that's one. Okay. We've got 19
fishing boats.
Plus 4.
That's not even. Or is it half? It's like. Yeah.
And Gillnet's just coming in.
Oh, that's late.
Yeah. Well, you know, he had a bit of a situation here back at home. I think he might have had to work out.
That is true.
And look, you know, I just realized too, his villagers were coming here probably to rejoin this guy.
Oh, look, he's blowing a TC.
One villager. 2 minutes.
And look at the amount of resources he has. Like, he could almost age up upon when building it.
You know, right now, if either of the, you know, Lakota or Russia had just, you know, gotten just even like a 2 caravel, or I don't know what the Lakota equivalent of canoe shipments would be, just to contest water, they would have completely idled Amaterasu. But right now he's, you know, like you said, he's got 36 vills, 23 of them plus are boats that are completely uncontested and allowed to do what they want to do. And, you know, he's shipped probably a few cards for water. I would imagine fish market at the very least.
Yeah, there's a good chance of that. And the interesting thing is that Italy is finally taking off.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Is he aging?
No,
He's not.
but
Not even close.
you know, he's probably like, look, I have to be the military right now, so I'm gonna sit in age 2.
Yeah.
You know, he's got a
That
pretty
makes sense.
sizable army.
But if there's Cav, he's in trouble.
That is true. Although he does have these guys who do pretty insane damage up close, especially when promoted.
Yeah, but it's 4 of them.
Oh. Looks like
Imagine if Lakota had just massed X-Riders now. And I also want to stress the fact that, as we already saw, Russia is just not making villagers, and I'm really wondering that if they. So I understand that this is an all-in rush, and it's supposed to just push over the opponent before this even starts to matter. But now it starts to be a problem.
it absolutely does. I mean, you know, Moonlight's got 25 vills. I don't see anything queued up for him for villagers either. I mean, I guess his philosophy is, well, I don't need villagers because I'm going to kill your villagers. Um, but you know, again, like these guys had a beautiful rush. They totally had Nicias and Amaterasu, but I think the big difference is the water, and they're not making an economy behind this. So, um,
Yeah.
he's got food for it. He's got wood, and look, he's banked up all these resources, and he's allowing time. Yeah, he's allowing these 2 players to get back in the game, and that's a mistake we all make sometimes, right? We kind of get so focused on a battle or one section of the map that we forget like the macro, you know. And there's a saying that micro wins battles, but macro wins wars, and we might start be seeing that because look at the scores. You know, Amaterasu's back basically in the game. Nicias has almost completely lapped the other team, you know, single-handedly in score. Um,
Yeah. Completely even. It is. Now Italy does overscore slightly, but I'm pretty sure that this is correct even with the water that he has now.
Amaterasu
and there's the H3.
And
that's just what I was saying a while ago. And he's even got the resources to go up again.
Yeah. We might see not a fast industrial, but a pretty speedy H3. Oh, looks like there's an outpost. Oh, behind it is a not so hidden to us, but not to the Lakota architect. It goes down.
I think he bought the second one, so he probably still have one.
More villagers getting murdered. I mean, you know, offense, these guys are fantastic, but, you know, you've got all these Strelets just kind of idling around, right? Not really contributing. Yeah. While these guys are building like crazy.
Sad.
A little bit sad. Yeah. Oh,
because they kind of had it. Oh, it looks like Lakota is now aging.
Yes, with the wise woman.
Even training a villager.
28, 17. Okay, so at some point, Russia
and
did
that's the Russian age and Italian. Everyone is aging.
Exiled Prince for a fast age up. You know, but I gotta say, like, if you're Russia, you just don't have the economy anymore. Russia's all about cost effectiveness, right? You could have been building villagers that entire time and using that to just overwhelm Britain and just, you know, push Nicias right off. But Nicias these guys are doing fantastic jobs. And, you know, we are maybe a bit critical of Arroz con Pajaritos and Moonlight. And we mean it in the best ways because, look, we're not the best players ourselves. These are just common mistakes people make. I literally, when I used to play Age of Empires 2, I would tape villagers on a sticky note next to my monitor with, like, exclamation points.
Yeah.
Same thing with Age of Empires 3.
this is something we all have to learn, and also it might have been part of their strategy that it was just a really fast rush that was supposed to just push the other players out. You never know what the initial plan was, of course.
It's true, you know, and you know what separates like these guys who are both pretty good team players, right? Like I don't know these other two guys. They're elo. I think I checked. I think it's around like 12, 1300. You know, they had a great plan. They had a great strategy. They executed it. But overly focused in one strategy, one aspect of the game, right? To a good player, they're just going to pivot back and forth, all right? So Amaterasu was like, well, I can buy time. I can get on the water. I can do these, you know, he's three different areas, literally, he's in three different spots on the map, right?
Yeah.
You know, Nicias.
He's even rebuilding within the Italian base.
I see it. Look, there's
I think
another
there's a barracks coming up over there. It's TC. Yeah. That's amazing. Still no army, but Nicias can hold now.
Mm-hmm. You know, the T4
He's even got
is massive.
Musketeer. And we have 2 players in H3 now. And he's finally queuing Vils.
Mm-hmm. And Nicias is almost up himself with the bishop. What does that do for advanced politician?
300 XP.
Okay.
On top of the town center. And there is the push.
Ooh. Oh, so close, man. If they had just been a little bit faster, they probably could have nabbed that town center.
Yeah. Corbets are down.
And here.
Italy. Oh, the Musketeers were so out of place there.
And good job on Russia to push now. You know what I mean? Because these are unupgraded yet, right? These are not veterans.
Yeah.
The Strelets trade really well, especially when they're veteran Strelets.
He took a good trade right now.
Yeah.
And veteran against non-veteran, of course. That's exactly, yeah. That's a very good point. He is upgrading both the Musketeers and the Pavesiers. Wow. Pavesiers, sorry. I also have trouble with Italian.
Yeah. I even have trouble with English, and it's my only language. You know, and truly, like I said, this is, you know, with these guys, Rose and Moonlight, they have a really good strategy. They have really good unit micro, but I think they're neglecting the economy. So now look, he's still not queuing villagers, even though he doesn't have food. He's pop capped. He's trying to sustain this unit that's basically like a Zergling, right? It's swarms, and now it's fighting equally upgraded troops, and his economy is just so much less than his opponents. Even though, like, he's making good trades. In fact, these cannons are about to come in. We're gonna watch the
Cannons
shots.
are always game changer. Such a good shipment.
2 Falcons.
Boom.
Oh, look at Lakota go.
Oh no. Oh, and Britain still doesn't have an army, so they might still have a chance to win if they just execute this well enough.
Yep. Looks like the PVCA are getting pushed back. Lakota, right? Ooh, right on top of the Falcons. Impressive.
Oh, that is very impressive.
Wow. Schiavone.
Britain is even getting a fort now. He's had enough of it.
Yeah, and oh, he's H4. Wow, I'd even watched this a while back and I missed it again. That's how fast Amaterasu gets to H4. Now it's looking pretty grim. These guys have to push.
Does he have unit shipments in H4?
No, he doesn't even have rockets.
Nope, nothing. Just. Well, he can produce the rockets later, but I'm not sure what use it was to go H4 instead of just training stuff, especially with what's happening right now.
Whoa. More Vilkillies going down, you know. But again, he's got, even though he has 30 idols, right? He still has, because again, not queuing up villagers.
I'm pretty sure they don't have it scouted. They don't even know there's water.
Wow, yep, you are absolutely correct. They have no idea what's going on.
They have such good map control, and that's the one thing I really I would comment on Nisha's team is that they are really in a corner. Like they don't have any map control. They have no idea what's going on.
You know, but they have the
Except
important
for the
things.
water.
Yep.
That's a lot of water though.
And you know, that just goes to show, you know, some maps, and knowing the map, look, they both knew, okay, if I take this water, they take that water. You know, check your opponent's deck too. Get an idea of where they're going to be at. If you see water, sometimes it's good just to have like one shipment in Age 2, you know, just to go out here and just push. Because, you know, again, oh wow, I just realized though too.
You should have expected with the bridge deck.
Exactly. Oop, Colves are out. Looks like they sniped the Falcons. Something I realized too.
No, it's not from back.
Oh, sorry. There's more Falcons. Oh wow. Good job.
One of them survived.
Boy,
He saw it.
Good communication here on the Russian and Lakota side. I was just going to point out really fast that Nusius only has 41 vills, and that includes water. So Lakota raids have just absolutely devastated them.
Yeah.
But again, they still have less villagers because, oh, there you go.
Lakota is catching up.
He is. But.
And raiding is a power of, you know, that's another sort of economy.
Yes. Murder is an economy.
Yeah.
Oh, Falconet's coming now in for Brits.
It's all about the demand and supply of genocides.
Yeah, exactly. And truly, again, you know, a civ like Russia and Lakota,
I think the demand is greater, the supply is greater than the demand, but yeah.
and oh, look, Russia, and finally, even though Russia's been a terror this entire game, the Russian mass just got wiped, and we might finally see the tide turn. Even though the scores have been higher, the initiative, right?
Yeah.
Because Tashunki out in the open, you know, these Straylets, they're just not as intimidating in these smaller numbers.
No. They're crappy.
So close.
And Pavasiers, if he managed to card his Pavasiers correctly, then
oh no.
He's going to beat these Bow Riders.
And look, he spent all that time in the Basilica, still not dead.
And then he runs for 15 Pavasiers.
And finally, it's like Aros realizes that, oh yeah, villagers. Why can't I afford units? Oh, because I don't have any villagers. And I think it's a little bit too late. He's trying to put a foundry up. He doesn't really have the macro.
He needs the other TC.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't need a or a dock, and then but he doesn't know about.
Right. He would come to not, realize that it's, you know, uninhabited except for whales. Yeah, this has been.
That's why you call overfishing.
Yes. And yeah, I mean, at this point, Russia's. I don't want to say a non-factor, but Lakota's going to have to figure out a way to finish these two guys off, and I don't necessarily see a way back in at this point.
Maybe the Shunki brothers are, you know, is very powerful, but also, if I understand it correctly, the new patch will actually move the Shunki to H4.
They will.
That's an interesting change.
Lakota has overperformed ever since the patch, and this is a typical thing. It's hard for devs. I know I gripe probably the most, and there's some units. Where are those Krabats? Let me find them. Okay, thank God they're dead.
Right.
But, you know, some units you look at and overperform, but it's so hard to design a civ when you have all the asymmetry, right? And so it's pretty common for devs to kind of tweak things over the course of a month or two. And so Lakota is getting many changes to their TPs. Whoop, that one's burned. Some of their cards in the next patch, which should be out soon, which is why we're casting this game so quickly. Wow. This has got to be tough. Like, look at the score difference. These guys have been in the offense the whole game, and it's like they kind of realized, like, the initiative is gone. We don't have enough to push.
I think in the end, maybe the artillery foundry is the right idea, because cannons is what you need to do when you're outnumbered.
Mm-hmm. And look, he is. Oh, that's Amaterasu. But look, he just doesn't have the economy.
No.
And yeah, I mean, look at Amaterasu's economy. And this guy was, remember, he lost his TC, and the other one to be rebuilt took 12 minutes or 2 minutes because it was one villager. Um,
Yeah. You're not going to push a base with a fort with 2 falconets. It's just not enough.
no, and look, he's now fished out everything. So ideally, in a perfect world, if the hunts weren't all basically gone, Russia would have had a large enough economy to transition to mills or even go to water itself. But because they didn't contest this, there's nothing. I mean, look, there's no hunts. And yeah.
Well, there's some in the north, but yeah, it's really. That's not where his fills are.
No. Yeah, you've got a few here and there, but
I think he's gone as well. Yeah. He's has to leave the party.
This is tough. At this point, you're just hoping for your opponents to throw or disconnect, right? Like, you haven't lost your mass, your economy's not being raided, but I mean, realistically, McLeaves, do you think there's a way back for these guys?
Well, as I said, cannons might be the right idea. We'll see. And as long as Nicias and Amaterasu don't push, there's always a chance.
That's true.
If they do the same thing, just letting their opponents get back into the game, then yeah.
Ooh, big fight coming. This might
be
the fight.
Falcon.
Ooh.
There's one Falcon. I don't know how he did it, but he did it.
Huh. And look at this Falcon. Despite being on low health, that Falcon is able to take down the other Falcon nets.
Yeah.
Or 2 of them.
That was
or one of them, and then the Tashunki.
Oh, the Tashunki charging right into the musketeers. No.
Yeah. Lakota backs off, and yeah, we're probably looking at near the end here. Look, yeah, Russia's so starved for food. They're all the way over here, and again, do they have?
Nope.
No
scouting. Oh.
62
there's some rifle riders in the mix now.
And again, now Russia's trying to boom. Look at this. He's got all these batches of villagers, but without a second.
Yeah, he could make another town center, but oh, that's an interesting move there from Italy.
It looks like Italy is trying to just kind of prepare for the ultimate. Oh boy, his architects. I hope they have good life insurance policies for their families, because the on-this jobs site hazards have been pretty high this game for his architects. I think that's the third one.
I think considering the amount of hit points, he probably doesn't have a life insurance at all. It's
Kevlar.
It's interesting that they have 4.5 speed and range resistance instead of that. They're a bit harder to kill than normal villagers. Does he have the Pavazir cards in there? That's an interesting.
Yeah, let's take a quick look back at Nicias. He does have the cards, so yep. These things should.
Yeah, so he sent them as well.
35% range resist, 19 range, 19 attack. Solid 2 multiplier. He went Colves.
35. Well, not that huge though.
Okay, looks like Russia is going to try to snipe these falconets, but there's really only one, so those Colves were kind of an over abundance.
Yeah, especially when Lakota could have. Oh, okay. He found. Did he find the docks too? He found the TC, but
he must have seen the docks by now.
Yeah, he's close enough. Oh, look, it looks like Britain also brought its own girlfriends.
Yep.
Yep, there it is.
There. Oh, this is looking tough for the guys. They finally lost this forward base. Their economy.
And look at the siege of those. Oh yes.
Are those the longbow? No.
No,
it's the PVCA. Oh yeah, that's right. Steel bolts.
Yep. Oh, 2 shots and it's gone. Wow. There you go. 1. It's going to be 3. No.
Oh, I mean, Lakota's still killing Vils, doing what Lakota loves, but I think at this point,
Oh yeah.
it's too little too late. If they would have scouted that out earlier, that could have absolutely knocked Amaterasu back and possibly out of the game permanently if they would have taken this TC and destroyed both those docks. But now you have
Yeah.
Redcoat, Royal Guard Musketeers with no cards sent yet for them, but it's only a matter of time.
That's an interesting choice to not card your musketeers when you make
Uh,
this many of them. Oh no.
oh,
Oof.
yeah,
And
and he is
he
out.
already had so few, and
Yep.
he just leaves. That was it for him. Yeah. Understandable. When you have 14 vills and then you lose half of them.
And it looks like Lakota is go. Nope, he taps out too. Well, what are your
And
initial
that's it.
thoughts post game?
What a throw in the end. I mean, the water on Amaterasu kind of saved him, but probably just the fact that that's something that really amazes me is that they never scouted this water, even though the deck was so telegraphed.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they just didn't look at the deck. I don't know. It's interesting.
This is, and again, I want to see if these players are out there. I encourage you greatly to give kind of some of your insight because part of this not website, but YouTube channel's idea is to have us kind of mid-level players, and these are the mistakes that we so often make, right? The failure to multitask properly. Again, Amaterasu was defending here, building boats here, pulling vills at different angles. Nicias, despite his partners probably like cries for help, um, poked around even when he only had 6 PVCA, right? Constantly kept these guys in the middle going back and forth, and the micro from the Lakota and Russia was solid. They did a great job to hold and keep these guys
I do
separated.
think that so one of the things, so bow riders and skirm or stratus is a very good combination, but in this case probably that X riders would have served him better because they needed the siege, they needed there was no cav, so yeah, I think X riders would probably have been maybe even would have changed the course of the game.
And right here, this is I think the tail of the tape, right? Look at the villager
Yeah.
graphs. Like as these guys are booming, especially if you go to team stats.
Yes. Even though when you look at the individual stats, you can just see how Italy really dropped, and even here you can actually see it. But Lakota almost got up with Italy entirely.
Mm-hmm. I think
you're already on the.
yeah.
Yes.
Right. I mean, they had good jobs, but these if they were not idle for this whole time, I think they would have closed it out. And again, Amaterasu and Nicias are both very good, team players, right? I mean, they may not be top 100, but they can give one of those guys a run for their money under the right circumstances. And today we saw two players that maybe are kind of the equivalent, right? Maybe a lot lower, but with good strategy and good micro, they were able to give Amaterasu, Nicias an incredible amount of pressure. And I think, upon reviewing it, that is again the big
Yeah.
difference,
Look at
right?
the early units population and then for the team. I think that shows off how the blue strat or their strategy was kind of powerful. It was not just a pushover despite not making villagers. Their military mass was always much larger than the opponents.
Right. And like as
It takes 20 minutes to make a difference.
I think it's exactly it.
Maybe
So,
15.
any final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah, I think it's this game really shows how maybe it takes some time, but in the long run, economy is just going to be what wins you the game.
Exactly. I thank you all for watching. I hope you guys learned a thing or two. We definitely saw, especially that Vilpool from Amaterasu at all different angles. Man, that was
Beautiful.
really slick from these two players. And like I said, our hearts go out to you, Arroz Khan Para Hitos, and Moonlight. I hope you guys are able to have some more success with this strategy because boy was it a strong one. And for our viewers, the usual yada yada, like, subscribe. I just hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a comment if you have any thoughts. If we missed anything, again, we're not the highest elo caster. uh, so until next time, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.